Do you want to be in the video? Yes? You want to be famous? Yeah, fine. Alright, we're back at home at the Möhnesee, and today we've got a little bit of wind. Not too much, around 10 knots. And I know some of you guys always complain when I go foiling, so today I'm gonna try to go with the fin again in 10 knots of wind. And yeah, that's basically what we did back in the day, and nowadays everyone is going on foil in these wind conditions. So today I'm gonna take some of my dad's gear because I don't own any of that really big slalom gear anymore. I'm gonna go on a 9/6 sail with a 48 fin and an 85 wide board, which should be quite fun to try that again. I used to really like that combo here on the lake, so I'm gonna rig that up and compare it to the foil if it still holds up in these conditions. Let's see. Okay, so let's go over the gear that I used here. And yeah, as you can see, I'm using a 9/6 North Sails Warp from 2017. So yeah, it's still really a North Sail and not a duotone. And then I'm using an 85 wide Patrick slalom board here. And I paired that up with a 48 slalom fin, Z-Fins SL --, so a very soft fin. And then I also rigged the foiling gear. And more specifically here, I rigged my F4 foil with a 100+3 fuse, which means that the fuse is 3 centimeters more forward compared to the regular fuse. And then for the wings, I used in the front, the biggest wing I have, the 1000 front wing. So it has a span of 1000 millimeters and I think 950 square centimeters of area. And for the back wing, I always use the 210 stabilizer. I also have a 230, but really I only use the 210. And yeah, the board is my 91 AV foil board. And the sail here is my 7.8 AC1, so just my regular slalom sail. Now let's get into the action and see how both of those gears compared to one another. Alright, so my dad was getting kind of anxious to get out after I went 20 minutes on his gear. So we switched the gear again and I went on the foil while my dad went on the 9/6 slalom gear. And is it just me or does it feel super weird when you change between fin and foil within one session? Anyway, let's get into the difference between the fin and the foil gear, or let's say more specifically the difference in this wind range, which was about, let's say, 9 to 12 knots in this instance. So first of all, once I stepped back onto the foil gear, the main difference was that I was like flying 90% of the time, so almost the entire time. And yeah, whereas on the fin, I was only planing for around maybe 30 to 40% of the session. And yeah, the reason for that is of course that I took a very big front wing on the foil, the 1000, which has 950 square centimeters of area. And yeah, for foiling, you really only need like a little gust where you can like pump up and onto the plane or onto the wing. And then you basically stay up on the foil much longer than you stay planing with a fin, because you have much less friction as the board isn't touching the water. And in the jibes, you also need a lot less wind compared to the fin to stay on the foil. And yeah, for that reason, like in these conditions, the foil makes a lot of sense, because you can just fly the entire session and are not standing around like on the fin, where I get really annoyed when I'm like standing around there for 60 to 70% of the time just waiting for a gust. But in my opinion, planing the whole time is not really everything it's about, is it? Because I think the real question is, what is more fun to do? And I have to say, for me, yeah, nothing really compares to the direct feeling you get while slalom windsurfing. with the fin and the board touching the water and really pushing the board through your leg, accelerating. And as you accelerate, the board gets more and more freely. And yeah, this feeling is really why I'm so addicted to speed surfing. And I can kind of get that same feeling even on a 9.6 sail with an 85 wide board. Yeah, and for some reason, this feeling, like, to me, feels more like flying than foiling on the foil. It doesn't really make sense, but yeah. But yeah, on the flip side, I also get really annoyed on the fin here on the lake when I'm just standing around there for most of the session waiting for these few gusts to come around to pump onto the plane and then have some fun. So that's really the reason why in these conditions I mainly like to stay on the foil, because I just can like surf the entire session without ever falling off the foil. And yeah, for me also foiling is much more fun when I'm not doing it alone. I don't know if that makes sense, but on the fin I can also have fun when I'm surfing alone, probably because I do speed surfing and I can like challenge myself. But on the foil I kind of sometimes get bored if I'm like foiling around for 2-3 hours all by myself in the same conditions, and I really like to do it with someone else or do like some challenges, long distance, something like that. And yeah, I don't have that so much with a fin. And then let's talk about the speeds. So on the fin, in the 20 minutes I surfed on the fin, I did 28.6 knots, and on the foil I did 26.8 knots. So yeah, 1.8 knot difference there. But yeah, to be honest, the 1000 front wing was a bit big. I could have used the 850, and that is around 1 to 2 knots faster. So I think the speeds would have been quite comparable if I had taken the 850 front wing instead of the 1000. And yeah, you can see in this run with my dad here that he is just a tad bit faster when pushing on the reach, and I could only hold him off here in this run because I was like pushing him upwind, and when I go upwind the foil is again a little bit stronger than the fin. But on the reach I would say the fin is just a tad bit faster, but that doesn't make up for the jibes and the acceleration out of the jibes and that stuff in a race, of course. But yeah, that was just kind of interesting to see. Alright, quick outro because I'm already at the German Speed Championships. I drove all night and I wanted to get up this video by tomorrow, which is Saturday tomorrow, because I want to stick to my upload schedule, which is now Tuesdays and Saturdays. So yeah, I'm just gonna upload this video tonight so you guys can see it tomorrow in the morning. And about the session, yeah, it was a whole lot of fun and really interesting to me to compare those two disciplines again after not using the big slalom gear in so long. And I had a lot of fun on that gear actually. But yeah, if you don't want to miss any of the next videos, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one from the German Speed Championships here in Born. See you guys.